Joining us now is Father Tim, and he's joining us from the Archdiocese of Detroit. Father, how are you?
I'm doing well, Happy to be with you.
Well, it's great to have you. Thanks so much for joining us today. And we're going to talk about a video you made which features men in formation for the priesthood, which is airing. It's a great way to highlight the classroom study, sports, and the good Archbishop Vigneron. What made you decide to make the video?
Well, we're always trying to come up with creative ways to reach out to the young people in the vocation office, which I'm the director of. And so obviously social media weighs very heavily in that regard. So seminarians helped me out a lot with these kinds of projects, and it was a collaborative effort. I had the idea from the song, and then the seminarians helped me find a good program and then did most of the work of setting it up. And the goal was just to get it out there so we could attract more young people to thinking about what it means to have a vocation and the role that saints play in all of that.
Father Tim, your role, your work is so very important in this moment in time for the Church. When I was in the seminary, perhaps you as well, I don't think it was as difficult for guys, but the challenges are great for all of us. What's the biggest challenge in inviting men to consider a vocation to the priesthood today?
Yeah, I agree with you and what you just said about it perhaps being more challenging nowadays. They have so many voices competing for their attention, and we're really battling with so many different things coming at our young people. And social media, I just said how great it was to be able to attract and connect. It's also, I think, poses one of the greatest challenges because they are so tuned into that, and very little of what they see and hear on social media has anything to do with Christ or with vocation or with faith or knowing who you really are and what God put you on this earth to do. And so I see that as one of our greatest challenges. Not the only one, but certainly ranks very high.
You know, one of the problems I see with social media, too, and this just hit me as we were talking, is that you lose that one-on-one relationship with someone. So when you send out something in social media, it goes to so many different people, and you might have people who will say, well, what are you doing? Why are you talking about God? You're just crazy to do that. I didn't think of that until you just said that, Father. You know, we saw pictures of people playing sports, playing the piano, doing some work, studying. What's a normal day like for a seminarian?
Very much like a regular student in college, but with the added duties or responsibilities of obviously morning prayer and evening prayer, celebrating the Liturgy of the Hours as a community, daily Mass. There's expectations that they contribute to the community. So they all have what they call house jobs, things that they do on behalf of the whole fraternity of men that they live with. So a lot of it is geared around the academics and study, kind of the basic structure of it all. But they have those additional duties. In addition to that, also they do pastoral work. They go out and are assigned different ministries so they could get better exposure with all the different kinds of people that they'll one day be serving as priests. So it's a pretty full life, but it is a happy life as well if you feel like that's where God's calling you.
As Director of Priestly Vocations, you know, you must enjoy a very good working relationship with Archbishop Vigneron. He's been so good to us, and I'm sure he's great to you and supportive of you as well.
He is. When I entered the seminary, he was just Father Vigneron, who taught philosophy. And then he went off to Rome, came back as our rector of the seminary, became a Monsignor. Then he became an auxiliary bishop for Detroit, but stayed on as the rector, and now has returned back to us as Archbishop. So I kind of feel like I've grown up with him. And I entered the seminary at the young age of 18, and so he saw me through most of those years. And I've been a priest now for almost 17 years. But he's not only a true shepherd, he also is very supportive and helpful when it comes to vocation ministry. he's constantly helping me and trying to help the whole Archdiocese with programs and ways in which we can better promote what it means to have a vocation, what it means to be called by God.
So if a young man is out there right now and he's listening to us, and he's even thinking about the priesthood, but isn't sure, what does he do to investigate that a little further?
The first advice I would give is to not be afraid. I have found in my 8 years as vocation director that is the most reason that is quoted as to, I don't think I can go forward, Father, or I'm not sure. It's fear. So do not be afraid. Obviously, it comes right from Scripture, right from the words of Christ himself, and often quoted by St. John Paul II. And then, secondly, if you have the courage to overcome that fear or trepidation you might feel in your heart, is to contact your vocation director. Every diocese, an archdiocese, every religious order has someone who's been appointed to help men in their discernment. And so I would advise them to reach out to them, which is more than likely going to happen through a website, which is also more than likely going to have some very good information on it in regards to discerning and what the steps are.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We love the wonderful Archdiocese of Detroit and the wonderful people of Michigan, and we're glad you were with us today.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
Have a
Father
great day.
Tim. God bless.